Question fast. It was a great show tonight. So if you want to subscribe, of any channel and you want to subscribe to, so you get one number applications below on my screen below. You get one membership and one sticker and one sticker and so much more. So if you want to you want any like maybe all the globe, and you can get two separate ways. So I got new center and top below right there. And you get two separate ways. So let's go between live right here tonight. So speaking of Osprey, it signs Sports Strickland and agent agrees to fight of Leah Russ. Agent with Tony Ziani brought out Osprey to discuss his brawl with Sports Strickland after Dynamite from last week. Agent Osprey has a question whether Sports Strickland might be a threat to his goal of taking the AEW World Championship from the Dead Wheels and some Moxley. I think he signed the Mingo to fight him next week at AEW Summer Blockbuster COU. I was ended up with Lee Russ assessing Osprey to the match. I think it's fun to have Osprey is working with so many different people at this stage. Unless he has been caught up to John Kai's family drama for so long. I think it's possible in his little style. It was a series of all over the top drama of him and Anna Page. I think it's particularly it fun to look back on one of AEW best views. So I just like these views because I like the rivalries like that. I did with the 4 hours to fill in a limit stat card announced this show tonight. I did with luckily for the masses. It wasn't more often than listening for AEW. I did with Osprey. We take on Ruth. It may have it wasn't so, but it should be fun to see what Ruth can do walking off someone that can move. Nothing has as fast as him. I think this could have been titled, but Osprey made it fun and set a clear stakes for his rematch next week with Sports Strickland. I just said the camera caught Tony Storm heading into the area who promised she was ready to tango. After with Bruce was reported that he and Ashley Benjamin just got back from in Japan. After they had competed for COEAT over the weekend. After with Osprey and smart his own fate, 10 has he accepted Bruce me was silence. After when AEW saw a highlight video for Mexico and announced he will compete next week at Summer Blockbuster. The next match got some Moxley. goes one-on-one against Mark Briscoe. So obviously even with the first influence of millions of view, it will really hurt and with Mark Briscoe post some Moxley in order to the limit. After the AEW World Champion finally caught Mark Briscoe visit Bulldog so cold, it was causing him to pass out. After this was a physical battle between the two of the most cannibal in performance in AEW. So after it got to probably and continue to ramp up to some so near falls. That wasn't even known how it was that Mark Briscoe could not beat the champion, but the Toronto the most so upset. I just think that the first influence true did not let this quote. As it reached its peak to audience pacing of the match, as it was slow to allow a cheap shot after also aside, and this is a match that likely will have been better. Most Personal has an AEW board service match or it Moxley won adding stakes to set a ball fight. And the winner of this match, Mark Briscoe, won a match. After when AEW we air Mark's promo of Moxley from All Inclusion, I was explaining that he needed to show his kids that he never quits by fighting the allure of the Death Raiders again. After when Mr. View misdescribed the referee to allow Willie Hooter to tap Mark Briscoe at multiple points in this match. After the crowd gave Willie Hooter heavy heat, and it went to Moxley broke open Mark Briscoe on the outside. He wasn't leaving him with an impossible common mask throughout a month of the match. And with Mark Briscoe hit say throttle, but it wasn't slow, just at the couple. I wasn't leading to a kick out, it was the fourth time anyone in AEW had kicked out of the say throttle. In the next match, we got tag team match. We got Timeless, Tony Storm, and Miz Sakura. We take on Sonny Hart and Sky Blue. I just been speaking of Mercedes Moné and some commentary. I just see but had whole own table and set up with a wine and steak and see focus more on her phone than the license. Also after a tough match for me and Sakura and Timeless Tony Storm. Once they got the hot tag and turned to the corner, it made took out Sonny Hart as a Timeless one, made Sky tap out to the TCM. The quick Nui. I think this was just a powerful, fast piece wide. I was in that showcase a growing women's tag team, top division, and Hart and Sky Blue was a better team for months of the match. I knew but they let Tony Storm rest too long and paid for it. I just let CEO play Hope Roll were at the website focus. I was Tony on Market Storm. It was a shame to adapt he only had a working commentary headset for it, so Tom in this assessment. And it answered the world to all in, it seems like Tony Storm and Money should continue to run into each other. And but the question remains, how will they get rivalry over the next months? And the winner of his match, Tony Storm and Mia Sakura. Also after a true landing outside for Storm, the CEO got up with wine in hands to mark the Serbian and has a pathetic. After when Mia Sakura was decided for a long stretch for this match until after she hit a diving sling blade to finally get Storm a hat tag. After when Storm and Tony tried to kiss, but Sonny Hart and Sky Blue broke up the face and was fought them off and danced together. That was before both hit running hip attacks. I was after reading some topless one skills at CEO Dano and I was in a front of hole. In next match, you got MCL Basanas Mexico next week. I just speak up Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight and Commando may take on LFI. I just with this promo. And just speaking of MVP has questioned it whether any tag team could step up to Bobby Lashley. After it, Sanjay Boseman and MCF and then told Mexico here it was his match next week. After it might face him at Grand Slam in Mexico. After with people Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, and a commando to came out to the silence. I just thought I was so hot since the case of MVP said that they would need to on a shot at fighting Bobby Lashley and Sergeant Boseman. So I was excited to wait for a moment for the return to Kevin Knight. But he picked up the win after a speed of Mike Bailey at time. I was able to in the USO to beat Martos. After with MVP came out and announced next week. I was that the winning team will face the whole Sasuke. So I was at Summer Black Boston. So I just hit a face and ran out of the Sasuke when they tied to attack them earlier. After this was a one of Pommel into an answer into Pommel that set the stage for an exciting trios match for next week as well. After when MCF has found his role with the hot Sasuke. Obviously quickly was probably off of MVP has the two man of the group. Obviously a match with Mexico and is in option for a Grand Slam in Mexico too. It will be a big mistake to have. I wasn't lose in Mexico. I just support Sasuke. We take on Speedwalk My Bailey and Kevin Knight is also a starting point that is likely to be the best title defense for the whole Sasuke so far. Obviously, everyone was great in this match. Obviously, to most of the match was probably positive from AFI, who looked like a totally great trio. This was the time again. AEW seems to totally pausing and but loose in my toes, and Jericho could be a great rivalries set or PPS something little. And the winner of this match, Commando, Cameron Knight, is people Mike Bailey. I do win MCL Mark Ospreay for getting involved. I did in Heyman and Pace is for Shaglin business so Hot Sasuke saved MCL from Ospreay. I just set a quote sentence for Bobby Lashley in such a endorsement that booed so almighty. I just with MCL put over his last movie role, Happy Gilmore 2, was coming out on July 25th. I just with MVP doesn't command the spinach results for MCF. I just recommend Cameron Knight and Bailey but to dive in squads onto AFI and then into the strongest AEW set of the night so far. And next match I got the best wrestler alive, Matt Costello, which take on Powerhouse Hobbs. I just the best wrestler alive, Matt Costello. Let's put 5 minutes on the clock for his open status. Also only for Powerhouse Hobbs to beat him in less than 1 minute. I think it is hard to give this much of a grade, but it was fun to see Mascot back in action. This gimmick remains a strong format. Also to keep putting all the force dangerous man in AEW. I wasn't mostly the rest of the OPPS with not attendance, and this was a great way to keep them relevant for the night. I wasn't more over Powerhouse gets an easy boxing win that reminds anyone how dangerous he can be. And the winner of this match, Powerhouse Hobbs. Matt Costello brought out a best wrestler alive, passing in May, so the referee Spartan Smith signed it. So we got a national service 4-way match. After of Kenny Omega survived a wild 4-way after with Corey category in Body King and Muscular Dwallow. I wasn't moving to catch a Dwallow where it won Ringo insult to win, so the broadcast shifted to on collision has Castle O'Connor has arrived. So I wasn't to a face down, so Seven was turning involved into a ball. I just a cleaner almost hit Sabrina Michael with a one Ringo insult before I caught Bill from the ring. Ozzy has a main event of Dynamite, and yes, it was anything it permits to be mega remains, and Seven while making three men look non-installable and tried to take his title Korea category was the base for a month of the taking it getting out of physical office. Wasn't he spoken help as well and stand out in his biggest match? Added to a date for AEW, the CMLL star was recorded throughout. He was a quick and mute limits with his each opponent in his contest. After some more opportunities that Bobby King gets the battle, he made this match in a big way. After with his fast pace and high impact power offense. After the post match, the spot was fine. But what mattered most was the missing that we all closing in on the next chapter on Kenny Omega, we take on Castle Coa, the fourth in AEW All In is announced. So in the middle of this match, Kenny Omega. I just in a mood the slight scenes with Omega has arrived to take a flight and Quincy Pro. Corey gets a glory and memory attack succeeded but King leading to a trio attack on the embassy of opponents until he rolled outside. Was it after King dove and swallowed into Kenny Omega in the corner? After when Corey category caught King away, spotting uppercut for a near fall. After King got broken up in the 40 in fought rate, was a causing mass to the late stages of the analysis. After when Kenny Omega in Corey category causing so off their tag team chemistry by hitting a demonstrate uppercut on King's Ghetto. I just set mostly up for a most win again with a wasn't on King but Mega broke it up. After with a draw the dive onto the both King and Corey category outside. It was causing a desert set to break out. It was before the all-inclusive main event and Tony Schiavone has announced. So Kenny by that, Kenny Omega will take on Castle Code for All In with also gold, also aligned with a contract signed at Summer Black Bristol. In next match with Ospreay, we take on Lady West and him and Pace. After with Lady West push Ospreay with a hope of as a hindering throughout this match. So it was a bullet that caught him with a Styles class to a win. I just see all you attack Ospreay and just the results. Plus him and Pace is out to the ring to save. I just said a Cowboy declared loudly that he will not take any instance from Swerve Strickland after he did promise to dishonor of some Moxley who appears behind him, followed by Kyle Category in Mansfield and Red Hood. After with Ospreay return, we still feel to send subject Riddles into reflect. I think this was a good match. But much more basic on TV. Opposite contestant Osprey has opposite illegal recording just was about giving Lewis a chance to wrestle a high level competitor. Andrew it Lucky also has a preview for See All You raise up to the card that's backing up Legacy instead of Whistle. And in that way, it was exhausted and set up and great guesses into the fourth place of Heyman and Moxley, deciding that Wells can strike at any time. So, let's set a drama of Moxley and Heyman and Osprey. I did with Osprey is involved in the AEW Best TV right now. I ain't likely to only get better into All In. And winner on this match, Will Osprey won the match. So, I was before a match of Legacy to declare he wasn't at 4 hours of acid closely to found who could help him in AEW. I did lose the snap Osprey only to his angle, causing him to make mistake. I just said a crowd scented Leo sucks and has he kept the 12 of the Aston and Nelson McGinnis. I was clear that the crowd had forgotten Lou's name. I knew with Aston Henry just grabbed that leg as to stop the hanging blade. It makes mascot a tag team match. We got FTR, we take on Artisuno, Paulo. Wasn't in Artisuno and FTR on the ropes in this match. But Dax Howard grabbed a leg to save Caswello from a semi-simplex, allowing him to pin Alessandro for a 3. Also afterward, Shaggy halfway remind even that Andrew with FTR is the biggest tag team in AEW history. Jackson tried to speak afterward, but the booing was too much. His symbol. It was declared that Devil had missed the chance to help him. After the return for FTR has been wily, and they all has a good as they have ever been. Wasn't it is interesting assigning to the best tag team matches in AEW week after week. I just say the biggest compliment to this match is that Artisuno and Apollo just look like the better tag team, but I invite the end of this contest of FTR, put them all in a big way. I think in this was a most showcase for who look scalable. AEW has done a great job of CM ever turning ahead of Grand Slam in Mexico. Wasn't it made it easy to get excited about seeing more of these messages in for the weeks. In the middle of this match, FTR. After with Dax Hall and so decided to Apollo only to back off to an awful handshake. After when presented its was squeezing his hand and Jack's Howard poked him inside the eyes. Argue with Jack's Howard tied to K5 and attendants. I was remembered to some the barricade and tried to pin him as FTR is headed to the back. So in next match, they got his girl. We take on Los Atwalos and Abigail. After winning Carl Foster and Cosgrave Chisade from a quickly chemistry with his girl to keep up with the hostage trio of Abigail and Truth. After in Timbo, Floyd, and the end. After broke up Los Atwalos Tennessee, handshake is set up, supporting posture from Supposito to land. And it just was a great fun to hold by every match. So I wasn't on this night. I was giving good time to Los Atwalos, and my deal may have lost. So I wasn't, but they looked like in crowds, just an accomplice hills. If no man in CMLL has been emphasized more. So I wasn't by AEW Indian skill, who was now with Don Kai's family, and hopefully this leads to more wins in AEW. After he bumped and beat for the while colorful babyface team, Aggie is still look completely at home and alongside the top of two of the Don Kai's family. I think this was also lucky a sign that Aggie decided if Colorado would be the top team of the Don Kai's family. Aggie also the road to All In. Wasn't even stepping up to support Suzuki before long. And the winner of this match, Colorado and his Sarte. Speaking of Callis revealed backstage that he was not working with CMLL, his girl, who he calls the best Legislative Insert Award. Agnew Foster in society with Liberal for your entrance Sunny Jam has a true tag team in the Don Callis family. Agnew in support of their tag team partner Los Atwalos came out in mask in his contest. Agnew pulled out a slow but impossible small arm drag on his skill. Agnew with his skill in decided sees the pin. Agnew Foster took a body slam into a Magneto and Fox Blast. So speaking of Tate Milo returned to save Annie Say. So I will say after a quick recap of last week. So I was about street fight making Bane and Poppy Ford to drag Annie Say to the stage. I was afraid to send Annie off the stage by Milo made her return, attacking the Bow Hills, and it was a great to see Tamino back in AEW ring. And she has not wrestled a match for AEW since back in January 2023. I just thought it may take her time to get fully back to the ring seat. So I wasn't how Eversleep has the perfect landing spot and reforming her team without any say. Also, while Harley Karen recovers from injury, Karen can come back as a sword to help get once under her Huffy. Andrew and tight Tomato MEC was the best Compass women's team back in 2022. Wasn't Indy should be a key part of AEW Futsal and Women's Tag Team Top Division. Andrew and Tomato came out with red paint and muscle colors and a kind of size look about feel into the face of Megan Bain. Amy Bowens decides color faucet to a match for next week at Summer Blockbuster for Pride months. So we have always TV title Big Wing. We take on Sammy Iguava. We take on Lee Sawson and Aya Fox. Big Wing almost lost multiple times, but he also managed to cast Aya Fox along as the ring hit the polyplex for the victory. Was it after Inconi went into the best of the Super Suno, Nate Wayne went right back to work and sign again. Also has always won television champion, and this was a fun four-way and just highlighting the high-flying path. And just the AEW, it always Wasco, Sammy Carrera Sparkly continues to accommodate to the AEW watch it will. Argument with AEW has kept him front essentially into the ring since he wants to go to it was disappointing for Christian Cage to disappear from TV for a while. Nate Wayne was in Japan. I just said the story is rolling again and hopefully reaching a dramatic turning point. McWayne can only be disappointed so many times before he fights back. And the winner of this match, Nate Wayne. I knew with Christian Cage, and once again, I just said basic pipe news to Nate Wayne on his return that will undefeated his title in a four-way little. I knew with Christian and Mother Wayne was an asset from ringside. I knew Blake Christian also tied to Hope Dawson win from a ringside. And Kid Legacy showing commentary and clearly made clear he wants. I also loyalty alike. I also has loyalty is a possibly as a main graphic learning of one with CTS not CTX on Nate Wayne. After AEW Fox got allowed name, said they took out the ring, instantly equalized with a center bomb to the floor. After support gave Nate Wing the title, hang him afterward, so he paid surprising amount. In next match, look at the toxic bottle, Twinkle, Michigan Lady Force. After the toxic bottle, Tinker made a Judgment Day debut with Sunny Down Lady Force at best and just before hitting its bill into the death trap. Was it a submission? Was it afterwards that the toxic bottle was locked back in whole submission until Queen Amanda? After Queen Amanda makes a save, and this was a very basic force showcase for Twinkle, who just made Lady Force 12. She got a couple cents to show hope. So it wasn't adjustment as instead of Lady Force into making mistakes. Also how it was a real showcase is likely to be when she fight Queen Amanda. She will need to remain dangerous and Jasmine even against the more complex stars in the women's top division. Also to avoid crankly, AEW Discovery has a big plans for hope when sending him sooner than later. I just hope those early matches will be the most focused on composing her before she fights a former world champion. And the winner of this match is spelled Thekla, has spelled. AEW saw a highlight reel of her debut has showcasing the end of her stardom career or is a night. After Queen Amanda backstage signs the toxic bottle for summer blockbuster. So here's the main event. They got Pentagon and Danny Garcia. We take on the John Callis family. Also after a competitive fast-paced tag team battle with Adam Cole. He was caught walking Ramon with the last shot to the win. And this was a sole tag team match, but it did not reach the heights. So I was suspended of its spot as the last match of the night. So I wasn't instead, it was mostly totally beyond capacity that the Dragon Slayer is getting a face and not showing the John Callis family has teased for last week. After it was supposed that this did not at last lead to a rematch announced between Adam Cole and Carter Fossil. But AEW may be hoping to schedule to wait for that match to all in. After it is coolest is for John Callis family. Right now has Carter Fossil with a TNT since it can prevent the threat level of the family was more. And the winner of this match, Adam Cole, Danny Garcia, Robert Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. Also early in the night, Adam Cole caused Danny Garcia to hold him in Pentagon that fights with John Carter's family. Andrew said a dragon slayer and just imitates at Carter's agents of results. Andrew Carter Fossil and Cosky Society came out afterward to give at Pentagon and sent on to teammates. So, in overall, after a festive fast was exhausted for AEW as a whole, even Andrew believed it was nothing to so coldly separate the dynamite and including hours of the show in terms of bookings. I was beyond the Kenny Omega in face off with Kazuchika and Will Ospreay backing up. I hit with him and Adam Page against the Dead Rails. On the collision with mostly full. It was good brutal as the Brett says not at the same special event piece. Also hits the first 2 hours of Festive Fest. And just the announcement championship the 4-way was a true comics of the night. I was involved Kevin Knight, Speak Up My Baby, and Camilo, which is on LFI, and Tony Storm, and Mia Sakura. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I've been losing my voice a little bit. So, I was against Sonny Hart and Sky Blue, were also great. So, hold on a minute. It was spelled THEKOA has arrived, but it feels like Hart is real, so case will be next week against Queen Amaya on most of the women's Southwick will was for certain night. Harvey will in Eric Smuggle called for some Bosco, so also next Wednesday we'll have more consistent flow down the stretch. So this is gonna make YouTube give me poll for a night. So if you like this story tonight, like, subscribe for this review tonight. I'm so sorry, I've been losing my voice a little bit. So we got 100% Roger so tonight. So percent is alright, and some percent didn't like it. So let's get my X poll. So we got 7% liked it, 7% is alright, and 7% didn't like it. So thank you for watching up AEW Dynamite tonight. So I'm so sorry I've been losing my voice a little bit so much. I mean, I've been talking all the time. So, speaking of, Saxon Drake won his hostage victory of Evolve Champion. So my favorite shot out at night is Mercedes Monet. So here's a new match for me on this fight in Thursday. So this was a great of tonight's AEW Fashion Fest review tonight. I love it. So if you would like to service that comment below. So what you guys want to talk about. So also I wanted to make a list at the available broadcast for California tonight. So I'm gonna show you guys on my screen. Quick minute here. Wait. It's more. I just said a good photos. It's not Jelly anymore. It's TKO. Okay, this does not make any sense. I just don't like TKO anymore when they releasing R-Truth. I was upset about R-Truth was here, I think. So I was not a fan of TKO wrestling anymore, I think, should be. I'm tired of TKO release of top names and good talents like R-Truth. So I've been hearing this rumor of The Miz is getting his release into this July, and when his contract be up soon. That's I've been hearing this rumor. So I'm a big fan of wrestling for a long time. About almost 2018. So speaking of that, so let me see a couple more here. Any tweets? So next week, on next Monday, we're doing more live streams and more reviews and more. So, oh yes, more. So we got against all odds 2025, two more days into 21 TNA. Lava Stone has been tweeting this out. He was a part of that soap back in 2011 and 2012. And seeing more, I think. So, speaking of SingleSnapAfavo.com, WWE sources that Afavo Select spoke with say and they don't expect so they start back before with me in 2026. We will wish her a speedy recovery. So, thank you for watching up tonight's of AEW Dynamite. So it might be a great match for a couple of weeks. I'm so excited for this Saturday and a lot more. So I want to see. So do you think Vince McMahon buy WWE, or I want to think about TKO that was getting release of talents. I don't like that, I think. So what do you guys think about that? So let me know, you can see what's that below on my comment here. So I want to see your comments. What you guys had to say. So I haven't seen your comments just yet. I want to read them. So, do you think Sir Ken Cross will sign with WWE before his contract runs out, or less? Sakari already made his decision in the science. Do you think Ken Cross and Scarlett will be signed of WWE, they might be releasing, I think. So I just put a file for Kenny Cross is currently in the files as well as his WWE, his contract. Agent in WWE has reported not proceeding with any extensions of renew so far. Hopefully we sign Cross. So please fingers crossed of Kenny Cross be in WWE soon. So I miss my talents of all time like R-Truth, Kenny Cross, and Scarlett in Madro. So this was a great show tonight. So I was thinking about Kenny Cross renew or is no more on where they have interest in doing so. Put a thoughtful report. So are you ready for AEW All In? Texas very soon, and winner takes all. I'm ready for that. So Tony Khan been tweeting this out with his announcement for next week on Wednesday. So I've been marking this all of my wrestling notes I have done about a year. So with this pen like this, that's for a signing contract for this contract. So I've been signing my contract on my YouTube channel is about a year. So after my YouTube is part of my goal about talk about wrestling and cover all stuff like that. So this was a great wrestling show of this year. Here's a glamour Mary May on her celebration at home. So I'm glad to see her back to WWE and glamorous Mary May. So I'm glad to see her back. She was a part of WWE, I say, let me see. Mary May, WWE, 2018. So he was a part of 2018. So let me see. Yeah, Mary May's been of August 4th, 1998. And glamorous Mary May. A part of wrestling for 2 years. I say 2021 and 2019. I think this was almost 6 years in wrestling and glamorous Mary May. So let me see a couple more here. So do you think Brian Jensen could be back with WWE? With attaching with Kane again? I think. So I've been watching House of Glory Wrestling. It's on YouTube channel. I watched a lot of wrestling this year. I was been busy that long. Or it's more Daily Wrestling says announced a special DC Silence match has been confirmed for Saturday Night Live event. It will be on this Saturday on June the 7th. It will be in a campus of Honor State in Bosley. I think. So let me see a couple more. So I was at Pat McAfee's show this morning. Into between Samus. So after we have Samus was on the Pat McAfee's show and they discussed the WWE of the apostles of R-Truth and Carlito, and there's no way Truth not gonna come back at some stage. I'm sure you see him again. This way he said all along. When Pat McAfee said. So it's more announcement. Tony Khan says he has an independent announcement to make later tonight. So, speaking of Tony Khan, so I'm gonna see women's tag titles. So it might happen soon. It should be, I think. So do you think we have women's tag titles under tag team pistol? I think. So let me see here. So let me see a couple more tweets. So I'm gonna think about how Vince McMahon sells about $250 on me of taking out sales to indelible. I think he was out of WWE for a year. So I don't trust Vince McMahon about that. I think. So I was thinking about a couple more here. So let me see a couple more. So let me see. Oh yeah, it's more announced. So we got 3 days out in Puerto Rican. This was a former WWE for 2 years of Alexa Lopez. He's replacing Gianna Apollo in Puerto Rican. I say maybe on Twitter TV. I'm gonna watch that sometime this week. When I get my stuff done here. Okay, so here's a question for you guys. So WWE Sporting did not want any archery sorts by Italian doing Raw this week. Speaking of, it says about reservoirs or stated. I think. So what do you guys think about that? So I'm gonna see who's gonna win this Saturday night at Money Bank. So tonight I'm gonna watch 5 more wrestling shows tonight. I watched 2 of AEW Dynamite, no, Fetchy Fast, and Inclusion. I watched 2 of those. I may have to watch 2 more left to watch. So here's a quick was just interesting here. Pat McAfee gives all so many opportunities. AJ is worried, but there is always a roll back to WWE. So do you think when Pat McAfee said, I think so let me see. WWE is over to the beginning of AJ Styles to sign with them. It says proof to Triple H has failed. He can't build a new stars and realities on Vince. Requested or posted from AEW by Tony Khan builds the stars in AEW. It wrote in this opinion. A second. So let me see any more. So I want to see Stephen Fakir might win at Money Bank somehow. So this might take heavy criticized a big flu listed on social media on his story time with this Mateus podcast. So Rick Flair is calling Sin Walls and just looking for a cancel update. Asking why? Where he said that because he's a this is what he said between that. So today's marks a 1 year since Fibano last won a singles match. In the ring, Fibano has gotten only 3 wins in singles as it will surpass 2 years today. So do you think Ace Styles keep losing on Raw every single time? I just want those who have asked, so what if Ace Styles losing on Raw is a sign of WWE is freezing him up? We are told he is aggressive ready for Raw, champions going forward, of PJ in sorrow. So, I'm hoping about Booker T helps Pat McAfee give up the commentary reactions to Stephen Fakir on Raw. So here's a new map for us against all odds of TNA wrestling. So we will wrap it up right here, right now. So have a great Wednesday, and we will do it live on this Friday on SmackDown. There's so much more. So have a great Wednesday. I'll see you guys Friday on Friday SmackDown. And we will see you guys sometime this week. So we got 5 more live shows of wrestling every single week on Bent down here every night. So have a great Wednesday. We will do it live on this Friday on Friday SmackDown. There's so much more. So have a great Wednesday. Have a good night. I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. Peace.